now. And we are live. Good evening and welcome to a very special Alien Day, Trashfire. I don't know, should we associate Trashfires with Alien Day? But yeah, myself and my gorgeous co-host decided I decided. She didn't really have a choice in the matter, unfortunately, the poor woman. I
I am a
decided.
woman, Marty. I'm a woman, so of course I don't. You have all the autonomy over me, darling.
There's a lot of autonomy going on, but there's very little in this movie. But yeah. So I decided to review and discuss and watch with the gorgeous Jen Mitchell 2007's Alien vs. Predator Requiem, the sequel to the 2004 Alien vs. Predator.
Which I
And
just want to put out there right now. I have not seen the previous one. Marty gave me the cliff notes of that one, but I have not seen it, to be fair.
Sleigh Ride of Friendship. That's all you need to know, really. Sleigh Ride of Friendship. So,
Hello,
we
Larry.
got Larry. We got Larry in the chat. He says justice for Wolf. Yeah, Wolf was pretty badass. Wolf for me is the saving grace of this movie. We'll get into that. But what we got, and again, it's something I'll always cite for this movie is, hey, Mr. Bones.
Mr. Bones.
That just like it isn't always a good idea to put slashers into outer space, it's not a great idea to bring xenomorphs to Earth.
I will actually argue with you on this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually do. I'm not saying that okay, stupid fun slashers in space. They've never been my particular jam, but some people like them. But I honestly think it works better. If we had to send our slashers to space or bring them down here, I think it actually works better if they come to us. Just my own personal opinion, but I think it does.
I'll give you that as well, Larry. The it's a lot more violent than the first one. And myself and Jen,
if you could see it,
watched. Yeah, if you could see it, there was some cool stuff you could see. Look, I know what you're saying, that it's feasible. I just think for the genre, particularly with the aliens, it doesn't work to be set in contemporary times. Mr. Bones, how do you feel that it looks like the new movie trailer? Yeah, I'm intrigued by the Will and Yutani connection. I'm not gonna lie. My problem is with the super fucking sexy fucking Predator bad boy that they're trying to deliver to the masses.
Honey trap, to get women to come to these things.
Yeah, women want to fuck Predator. Yeah, it's look. I think it's better to, if they're going to do an Alien versus Predator movie, have the Predator in the Alien universe, have it in the Alien timeline, have it in the future. I think that works better. Yeah, it is. It's he's a thirst trap. He's a thirst trap. GQ. Yeah, everyone's called him GQ Predator. GQ Predator. He's a sexy bastard. And we'll get to that.
If you were a woman, Marty, would you want to fuck him? If you were a woman?
No. So, okay.
He has a very smooth face.
That's the problem. He shouldn't. Yeah, no. The Elle Fanning's character is a synthetic by the name of Tessa, and she has a quote-unquote sister. Or no, Elle Fanning's character is named Tia, and she has a sister, quote-unquote sister, named Tessa. We don't know if Tessa is a synthetic also, or if Tessa designed Tia in her likeness.
Like God.
Yeah, well, that's the analogy. That's like with Charles Bishop Wayland and Peter Wayland and stuff. How do you feel about the Alien films, but have Predator just show up in the third act? Well, that's the plan. That's what they're. That's they're planning on doing. I've a feeling that they're going to put xenomorphs into this new one.
Will that be good for you, or are you wait and see, or are you against it?
Wait and see, because I think Fied Alvarez, he was chatting with Dan Trachtenberg, and they were saying they'd love to do a crossover. Now, the sneaky bastards, just like Killer of Killers, this Predator Badlands could be a stealthy version AVP movie. I genuinely think from the trailer, Elle Fanning's character says you're hunting something that can't be killed. Now, originally I thought it was Elle Fanning was talking to her sister about the Predator, and that's what can't be killed. But now I'm wondering, is it a xenomorph? I don't think it's the big fucking gorilla thing in the woods, but that's just my fucking thing. We'll get back to that. We're deviating.
It's okay.
Larry
People like
says
to hear your thoughts.
Larry says it can't be as bad as the Predator, but you never know. Yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
So quick cliff notes of this. It's a sequel to 2004's Alien vs. Predator, a Predator scout vessel. The extended edition, while it doesn't repair a lot of the issues this movie has, it does explain why the Predalien doesn't kill 100 Predators aboard this big giant juggernaut. A smaller ship breaks off from it and it stows away onto the smaller ship. And that's how it ends up back on Earth again. And it lands in Gunnison in Colorado. Is that a real place? Is there a town called Gunnison or a place called Gunnison?
I'm not sure if there is or not, but I wouldn't be surprised. But maybe it was fictionalized. Who knows? That I couldn't tell you.
Well, someone told me there's 6 real life Springfields, so I don't know, fucking.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of Springfields. Yeah, that they're not. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking that too as well, Larry. That's again, Wayland Yutani being on the planet makes me wonder that if there's a queen on the fucking on the planet, that this deck, that's what he's called as well, the new sexy Predator. The younger fucking, I don't know, Ryan Gosling Predator. Some women are comparing him to. I don't fucking know. But anyway, sorry, we're deviating. So, Predator ship crashes, and the culprit is the Predalien. And in its escape from the ship, it also releases a bunch of facehuggers that slowly turn a bunch of homeless people into the Predaliens' hive. So the Yautja Prime, the ship sends back a signal to Yautja Prime, and the Wolf is sent to intercept and cover up and destroy any traces of the Predalien. Because in Predator society, the Predalien is an abomination and has to be destroyed at all costs. And there's some stupid fucking humans caught in the middle as well. But yeah, we'll get to that.
And I asked you about that in the movie. Like, does the Predator feel like annoyance or sympathy for humans, or are they just something they're just there to get in their way?
This is another reason I like this movie, and this is why I am anxious about the new Predator Badlands. In the first Alien versus Predator movie, we had a Predator called Scar, who teams up with our female lead in that first movie. And it works to an extent. And yes, it's a callback to the comics, because in the Alien versus Predator comics, a Predator called Dashande teams up with a corporation executive, and her name is Michiko Nagachi, and they save a colony. And it's more out of honor and it's more out of righteousness that they team up in the comic. And they kind of do a very diluted version of that kind of interplay for the first Alien versus Predator. So, I this is why I like this guy, because he's not he's like the guy who comes into work or goes to church or goes to bingo, and the first thing he'll tell you is, I'm not here to make friends. This motherfucker is not here to make friends. He's here to clean up a mess. Okay. And if you walk across it and drag it across the floor, he's going to have a fucking issue with you. Let's see. I want Len on a minute. Larry says, what you see of Prime and can actually see. Yeah, that bit in the Predator homeworld looked cool. That was cool. And
yeah, I would agree.
Mr. Bone says, you think he's cute? He knows he's sexy. He sends chills down Android's spine. Yeah, he better not fuck that robot. Although there'll be a lot of happy women.
Would you be mad, Marty? Will you be mad if they do?
No, they can't. No, don't do that.
Like I've said, Marty, it's like, the Planet of the Apes Tim Burton movie. I mean, the monkey wanted to fuck Mark Wahlberg, and it was kind of hot. It kind of worked. I'm the only one that thinks this, but I kind of thought it
worked. Okay, so anyway, right? Yeah, no, I don't think they will. I don't think they will. Because it would totally, whatever legitimacy that Jan Trachtenberg had brought back to the fucking franchise with Prey, he would totally undo. He would fucking absolutely undo it. And go on.
Why couldn't they have a compelling love story?
Because, okay, I'll tell you what, a bunch of Hisher chicks would love it. That would be Mills and fucking Boone to them. But he would alienate the hardcore fan base. Oh, I know who that's the Heartbreak Kid team. I know it. I know. It's I know the team. I was just like, oh goddamn. But yeah, no, the reason I prefer the Wolf is they're not doing the anti-hero thing to such an extent that he's like, hey, I'm going to save these humans. He's not doing it to save the humans. He's doing it to clean up shit. He's doing it to clean up a mess, and he's doing it to clean up what is essentially defilement of the Predator Code or the Predator Society of having an alien born out of a predator. And yeah, I thought that was cool. And from what you could see, again, the Strauss brothers really, really fucking dropped the ball when shooting this movie. Jen, okay, positives for you with this movie, if any.
No, there is some positives. I didn't hate this movie, but I understand why a few people warned me about this movie, Marty. I'm not gonna lie, a few people warned me when they found out.
I think Larry was one of them as well.
Yeah, hi Trenchy.
Hey Trench.
No, it's not like my biggest, and this, I know you asked for positives, Marty, but I can't talk about the positives because they all do kind of go back into negatives. Like, there is some really what look like fabulous shots and costumes and stuff, and like the little tiny bit of glimmer I can see looks really fucking cool. But my eyes are straining to see what the fuck is going on in this movie, and it kind of pisses me off because I'm like, this would look really cool. Also, I wish it was a little more gory, but that could be just because horror here, and I like that kind of stuff. It's not bad. It's a fun Saturday afternoon movie is what it is. It's one that if you don't want to turn your brain on too hard, this is a fun movie, and I think more people would really have enjoyed it if we could see what everything was going on. And then there's the Dawson's Creek kids, which is interesting.
Again, it's Alien versus Predator versus Pacey from Dawson's Creek. Trenchy says, I'd like this movie more if they turned on the fucking lights.
Yes, I want to steal that from Trenchy. That's exactly how I feel. Marty, my eyes were hurting because I was straining so hard to see this goddamn thing. And it sucks because you, under like the few little glimmers you get, looks pretty damn good. Why didn't they have some lights? This movie had somewhat of a budget, I'm assuming. I know you said they weren't comfortable with the filming stuff, but.
So here's the thing. The Strauss brothers, before they got into directing, their main bread and butter was digital effects, artistry. Their idea of effects was the use of computers. Anything practical effects were not their forte. They felt they didn't have the confidence enough to shoot these costumes and practical effects in any kind of viable way, which is ridiculous. Again, 1986, James Cameron, like you got fleeting shots, but there were magnificent fleeting shots of the xenomorphs, and the fact that he was able to shoot a movie in 86 and not have these creatures drenched in darkness, he was able to put them on show and still make them menacing, even though they're guys in suits, even though sometimes they're puppets. It didn't make a lick of fucking sense that I'm stretching the dark. 20 years later, these two fucking lads couldn't replicate, if not improve upon, the shooting techniques from a movie that was 20 years old. Let's see.
I get that. I get that. But I mean, they had to see, they're filmmakers, right? If people in the audience could tell, like, wouldn't somebody on the cast or crew go, hey, maybe just put some lights in here, turn them on? I think that's my biggest issue. I don't think it would be a bad movie. Now, I'm going to ask you something, Marty, because you're a way bigger both Alien and Predator fan. Now, are some of you guys, because I feel like maybe the lores, is any of the lores messed up? Because this is very much a creature feature. For someone who's coming into this at a very casual Alien or Predator fan, these seems like very much of a creature features. Do they get some of the lore wrong, or do they do stuff that pisses off the fans on either the Alien side or the Predator side?
No, you know what? You could tell that the guys were fans of the comics and video games, because there's elements that they've pulled from the expanded media and from other movies. It's just, I think the biggest, with all the issues, I think the biggest gripe for a lot of people was the contemporary Earth setting. Even with the first one, because when they first announced the first Alien versus Predator, I was super fucking hyped, and then two pieces of information just fucking leveled me about that first movie, that it was going to be a NC-17. And it was also going to be set on Earth in contemporary times, which my issue with the Alien versus Predator movie, and my issue that I'm going to have with the Wiley? I had a fucking Noah's fucking Ark's new fucking Alien TV show on Fox and Hulu, that it's set on Earth. I think any movie that's set on Earth before the events of Alien totally diminishes the struggle of Ellen Ripley in the Alien trilogy. I'm going to use trilogy. I'm not going to include Resurrection because it's a different version of Ripley. But her sacrifice... I
guess you're right.
Yeah, her sacrifice is made completely redundant. I got to stop these things getting to Earth. Bad news, Ripley. They were there all fucking along. There's a fucking alien queen buried nice out in the Arctic. Oh, and let's not forget the town that fucking in Colorado that got overrun. And sure, they nuked it, but fuck it. What if a couple of the bastards went off into the forest, or made it to, I don't know, some fucking ridge line and went into another part of the fucking States? Like, for me, bringing them to Earth in contemporary times just delegitimizes Ripley's struggle and fucks with the continuity. Just genuinely fucks with the continuity.
Do you think that, because I did get this feeling, we've been talking about the CW kids, do you think they were also trying to get younger demographics to come and see this movie, and they thought that it might be more appealing if they're like, you
know? Most definitely. Like, I was chatting to another Alien versus Predator fan who is a lot less charitable than me, and he done a review on this, and he said it's like the Strauss brothers had a hard-on for those terrible Platinum Dune fucking remakes.
No, wait a minute. They're not terrible. Like, some of them are okay. I like Friday the 13th. I like Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
But can you see that this movie they were trying to cut the same cloth and material from those movies?
I do. I got that feeling when we were watching this, that this was kind of aimed for like the young teenagers, a 20s crowd. Like they were trying, especially men. This has a very kind of dude, and there's nothing wrong with that. When I say this, I'm not saying that's a bad thing on the movie, but you definitely feel this is a dude bro kind of thing. And you know, the guns and then the plot lines. The characters aren't anything to write home about. The brothers, I think like you said, have the best, interesting storyline. And the girlfriend, what happens to her at the end, that was a nice touch, because you would think in a lot of these movies, it's very standard that, she would make it and she doesn't. So that's kind of cool. I like that. Anything that's even dark. I wish they would have done the same thing to the kid.
Yeah, look, they already murdered. The fact is, they murdered a kid at the start. They murdered a bunch of unborn babies, and they actually had to cut 2 other kids. There's 2 characters by the name of Curtis and Kendra, whose subplot was completely removed. Basically, they're 2 orphans who are trying to get out of town, and they end up going with the sheriff, and they die in the nuclear fucking explosion. So it's like, yeah, no,
see, I'm okay with that.
We can't be killing all these fucking children all at once.
Why?
You are?
Yeah, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with kids dying. I'm one of those horror fans that do a little happy dance when they're like, yeah, we kill. Now, babies are a different thing, but kids, we can always make more. And I'm probably going to get you canceled. Hey, Eric.
I shouldn't be surprised, because it's you and you're like bloodthirsty as hell.
You know what? I do have one praise for this. I thought the scene where all the pregnant mothers, I thought that was really cool. Where they're giving birth to all the aliens. Uh-oh. Okay, I guess Marty had to go for a second. I'm a bit lagging, guys, so if this seems like nonsensical, I'm having issues with my internet, so that was nuts and yeah, kind of cool, Jen. Yeah, I thought that scene was super cool, guys. I liked where that was a pretty brutal scene. Like, for horror fans, this was definitely for someone who's into the horror end of it. I did appreciate that. And one of the things, I think the reason why Marty wanted to show this one to me tonight, guys, is because he thought out of all the movies, this one has like a slasher element to it, which Probably. I finally did it. It took a few years, Larry, but I finally broke the poor guy. I think I finally broke the poor guy. Also, guys, if you guys could tell me if I'm coming out okay, because there was a little bit of a lag for Marty, so I hope I'm coming out, if not coherent, at least not laggy. Hi! There's stuff I like in this film, like the film Wolf. It's awesome, but there are too many problems. I can't say I liked it. See, I'm with you, Cara. I didn't hate this film. I didn't think it would. Marty was, I think, a little bit legitimately worried that I was going to hate this film. Okay, cool, Larry. Thank you for telling me, because I hate it if I'm like all choppy and stuff. But I'm with Cara. I didn't hate that. Now, the one with the autism one is probably like for me the worst one of the bunch that I've personally seen. This one has problems, but I don't think it's a terrible movie, guys. I don't think it's completely terrible, but I'm with Trenchy. Trenchy, just fucking, you should coin that. Trenchy, if you're still in the chat, you should coin that. I think I'd like this movie a lot better if they turned on some fucking lights. It's the eye strain that gets me with this movie. Other than that, this movie is fine. It's not the best movie in the bunch, but it's not the worst. Like if we had lights, guys, this would be a pretty fun one. I would deem this more in the fun one than like a really emotionally impactful one. But I think that this is a fun one. If we could see the goddamn, could actually see what was going on. Yeah, I did too, Larry. I fucking hated The Predator. Oh my don't get me started about, we had some problems, did we not, guys? We really, really did. But to this movie's credit, like I said, the scene that I really liked was definitely the pregnant women all, giving birth to the chest burster babies. And Marty told me when we were watching this that like if the women are pregnant beforehand, that for some reason they can give birth to more of the babies. So that was a cool scene, and it was pretty hardcore. It has a weird. Do you guys think that this movie has a weird tone, like it was trying to get a few demographics? Because like we've got the CW kids, but we also have the slasher element, and I'm sure they were also trying to get both Alien and Predator fans. And I think maybe too many cooks in the kitchen. It's going all over the place, guys, kind of like I am. Yeah. And also, although I will say another thing that I like, this is another pro of this movie. This was definitely where I got the biggest laugh of this movie, is where one of the women, when they're in the convoy and they're talking about what they're trying to decide what to do, is it the government or is it or should they trust the government or not? And one of the women go, but the government doesn't lie. I thought that was rather cute. And I also will give this movie this. The movie had the balls, because usually, especially because this has a very dude bro feel to me, guys. But I think that the one thing I do give of this movie is it does show, hi, Marty.
Hey, sorry, I'm just having, it's actually issues with my internet. Apologies.
Because Larry says I don't know if I'm making a lick of sense, but Larry says I'm coming through fine.
No, I think my laptop decided to update. Apologies. But it's this movie I have a soft spot for, mainly because of the Predator. And I think the Achilles heel is the contemporary setting, like the prior one, the CW kids, and the fact that someone really needs to fucking open a skylight in the set here.
Really, that's the biggest issue. That's I was telling, I don't know if you could hear, you were probably busy trying to get that straightened out, but what I was telling everybody in the chat is this movie, I actually accept the lighting is the most goddamn biggest problem, but if we took out that factor, I didn't hate this movie. It's fun. It's not particularly deep, but it's a fun creature feature. I get that. I do think that there is like kind of too many cooks in the kitchen, because I do feel like they're really trying to grab the demographics of the younger people. I think they're trying to get like horror fans like myself and the Alien and Predator people, and like we are going in a lot of different directions with this movie. But for all the problems, it's not bad if we just had fucking light. And how many times I'm being a little redundant, I'm sorry, guys.
No. Like, I know people who've approached it. They've tried to do edits. They've tried to do color correction. They've tried to do fucking saturation correction. The people have gone to Fox and now Disney going, hey, could you release a version that has a better kind of fucking light source or color source? And like, even the thing is, they shot it this way. You can even turn the fucking brightness and aspect ratio and stuff, and it's still pretty fucking dim to try and watch. That's
Why is
the
that,
issue.
Marty? Like, why is that? Because there are times in this movie it kind of pierces the veil of darkness, and you can see. And I think I told you while we were watching this, that wow, when you can actually see something, it looks really good. So like, I don't understand.
Again, the Strauss brothers were digital effects artists. They were not people who were used to shooting something that was practical, that something was there. Now, I am going to say this, and I've never made a fucking costume. I've never worked in practical effects. Some of the xenomorphs, the xenomorph warrior design, it looks shitty. It looks shanky in this movie. And I was excited because I was like, yes, they're bringing back the Ridgehead warriors from Aliens, the Ridgehead design. But it's just, hey, Predpool. Jen, can you read Predpool's comment? Because there's something popping up on my phone that can't let me see it.
Sure. Oh, popping up. We'll talk later. I'm okay with the movie, but the pregnant woman that the Xenos that come out of her just ruined it for me. And I was just saying that was actually one of my favorites. Of course it is. That's one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
I knew it would be. I knew it would be. Predpool, do you think it's because it was too mean-spirited? Or it just went. So other people had an issue with it because they said it fucked with the alien life cycle. The fact that it kind of went past the whole alien queen life cycle. But the way I saw it was that pred alien was actually a juvenile queen. She was a Praetorian, and this was kind of the stopgap between that. Now, whether that's kind of genetic trait was unique to pred aliens, or it's what young queen aliens do by kind of forcing down the embryos. I didn't have an issue with that, or was it the fact that you just thought it was very kind of ill-tasting to do something like that?
What do you mean, Marty, ill-tasting?
As in, like, some people might think you're certifiable for,
It was my favorite. No, seriously, I thought that was cool. And then she's lying in there and she's crying. The little baby xenomorphs are like, wee, and then they pop out and it's all bloody and disgusting. And I was like, I wish we had more of this, and I wish I could see it better. But this looks cool, and I love the actress that she's just wailing.
It's cool. I liked it. I did not have an issue with it. I think most people just thought it was in poor taste. Other people were like, hey, this is fucking with a life cycle that's been established. The way how the pred did not bother me, just specifically already implies that.
I can read this for you. For me, it was the things, wow, they went there, which is why I had no issues with it. That's from Larry. And then Predpool says, the way how pred did not bother me, just specifically the already pregnant woman, that implies that the Xenos killed her and her child. All kidding aside, I get where Predpool's coming from. It is fucked up. But I guess because this has a very creature feature feel for me, and because I'm just a very fucked up individual, I kind of had fun with it. Because I'm not trying to Predpool, I'm not trying to dress down your fucking point, but again, this is the same franchise that had like Sigourney Weaver nearly raped by a synthetic who had no penis, so he decided to roll up a porno magazine and shove it down her throat. Uncomfortable, and there is the kind of true line through this entire franchise is pseudo nightmarish sexuality. That's the kind of signature point of Geiger, who is a big influence on the creature, and I think that was a natural progression. I think that was a really interesting way to go. Was it in the best of tastes?
Probably not. But this franchise, as I've said before, is not. And I think this is where you and me will also deviate from our kind of expectations for Predator Badlands. You're excited, and again, I'm not kind of criticizing your excitement or anticipation for it. You look at the Predator franchise as a epic sci-fi kind of tale, an epic kind of high fantasy sci-fi, which is cool. For me, it's always been a gritty pulp kind of horror adventure, and I think if you deviate too much from the source, like you wake up one morning, it's like your partner decides to go and do, I don't know, some kind of self-help course, and over the course of a couple of months you wake up and you realize this isn't the person I fell in love with. And I feel that's the same thing with this franchise. And again, I'm not going to be some dickhead who's like, oh yeah, anyone who likes this or anyone who's excited for this is it's woke nonsense, or they're not real fans. Fuck that. Anyone who says that to you, fucking kick him in the bollocks. I just myself, progression and change is important. As someone once said to me, the inability to change is also a sign of weakness. And I do think franchises do need to change and evolve, but I still think at their core they need to keep what they were. And I feel that Seed is very, very kind of rooted in Geiger's demonic fucking sexual nightmare from outer space.
Well, you know what I like from someone coming from, because again, I'm a super casual fan. I'm not like you guys who know everything, but I love when these movies can kind of elicit this debate and how both of you kind of can take different viewpoints. And I love hearing about both of y'all's viewpoints. I think that's really the best part of film, is being able to discuss it and be cool with each other. Also, Larry said they did similar in Snyder's Dawn of the Dead, and I don't remember anyone batting an eye about that, which is a good point.
Yeah, it's, again, I think I'm not going to say I'm not I think it works. I think it works for this franchise. I'm not going to I'm not going to say that it was, again, it might have been in poor taste, but I think it goes hand in hand with this franchise. That said, I'm not going to criticize anyone who had an issue with it. And yeah, give me 1 second, Jen.
Okay, no problem. Predpool also said the original AVP comic would probably be close to Badlands if it was done live action, it seems to me. This is something you'll have to talk with Marty, because again, I'm not trying to, I won't ever pretend with you guys. I'm super, super casual. So you got the wrong girl for this one. But I'm sure when Marty gets back, he can address that. But getting back to the action, to this particular movie, I do like, again, I really enjoy the designs of this. Like when you can see them, I think it looks pretty cool. And I also like the acid blood. Like that is one thing, because the movie's so dark, that bright green acid blood really does pop. That is one thing. That is one color. Let's like, oh my God, we actually have some color, and some pretty bright color. So like, I'm a basic bitch, Marty. I like the pregnant women dying and screaming with the baby's xenomorphs, and I like the colors.
You like the babies dying and the pretty colors. You are a contradiction wrapped in enigma, wrapped in an adorable New Mexican. That's what you are. What did you think of our Predator? What did you think of the Wolf? Did you think he was cool, or did he come across as your every bargain bin predator?
No, well, like, again, I don't want to ever come into you guys and pretend I'm something I'm not. But from someone who's not near as well versed as the rest of you guys are, I thought he was cool, and I thought he did have a bit of a personality. It was kind of funny. I think I told you this when we were watching it. It reminded me a little bit of Reanimator because I got the feeling from the Predator, like, I don't have time for you stupid humans bullshit. I just want to get these fucking aliens taken care of. And I also get the feeling like he's thinking in his head, this wouldn't have fucking happened if it had been on my watch. Like, this whole bullshit wouldn't have happened if it had been on my watch. Incompetent fuckers, all of you. And I also liked when he killed when they're in the graveyard and he kills the one dude that seems to be threatening them. Now, I can totally understand why that guy wanted to kill that little girl, because I was hoping that someone would kill that little girl. But I also thought that was cool that he killed her, when again, it seemed because he seemed to be threatening the mother and the little girl. So I like that. I think it did have a bit of a personality. You just had to really pay attention.
Again, Predators do have a code of honor, but this didn't turn him. Again, as I said before, he comes down to the planet and the first thing he says is, I'm not here to make friends. I'm here to clean your shit up. Okay? Yeah, no, that Larry hit the nail in the head. That's how he got his name. The Strauss brothers named him the Wolf because he's a cleaner. He is Harvey Keitel in Pulp Fiction. He is like, he comes down and he's like, pretty please with sugar on top. Show me where the fucking body is.
I liked it. For what it was pretty cool. And also and I know I'm a redundant bitch, but like the fight scene seemed pretty cool if we could fucking see it. As Trenchy says, the best thing if someone would turn on a fucking light.
Look, there's fun to be had with this movie. And
there is, I'll give you that.
Myself, and if you want more compelling reasons to check out this franchise, myself and Eric and Larry done a fucking fabulous discussion on both the first and second of these movies. But I just wanted your input because you are a hardcore horror fan, and I think there was stuff here you appreciated, but there was also stuff that you could objectively look at and go, yeah, if a more competent director would have done this better. And I think, I
think they're competent. I like, again, the light thing. It did drag in a few places. A couple of the scenes did take a little bit long, but again, this is not my world. And the CW kids were not, like I said, other than the brothers, the CW kids were a little bit grating. But people can say the same thing about some of your standard horror characters. So tomato.
But what about the riveting drama of the mother returning home from Afghanistan to her child, who has almost forgotten who she is?
I hated that little girl, Marty. I really was mad at the Predator for killing the dude in the cigarette in the fucking the graveyard, because I didn't blame the guy for wanting to kill a little bitch. I really didn't. My God. That little girl was obnoxious. I know you guys are probably thinking, Jesus, she's a monster. She likes to see women with babies getting, xenomorph birthed, and she wants to kill a little kid. But that little kid, come on, you guys have to admit, you all thought the same thing. Someone killed this little bitch.
Look, it was the Strauss brothers were like, I think it was like they made the two brother characters because they wanted insert characters. It's obvious the Strauss brothers like, hey, let's put us in the movie. Let's pretend we're both badasses. And it's like, no, you're fucking not. You're visual effects artists. And then they're like, okay, maybe this isn't working. What do we do? Let's put our own version of Ripley and Newt in here. And you're like, lads, this isn't even Walmart's Ripley and Newt. This is Ross's. This is Ross's.
Now, Ross's is a great place. Ross's is where you get a lot of your figures I sent you from. You've said that like the movies do have a problem with always inserting like some brown-haired woman as their new Ripley. Like no matter what movie you're seeing, like these always have to inject that.
Short crop brown haired woman now is Ripley. Here's our new Ripley. Okay, this didn't work. Let's try a different short haired brown haired woman. That's like, lads,
I guess though it's kind of a nice nod. Like if you're right and that little girl was Newt, she sure as shit wasn't Newt. But I guess if that was their rendition of Newt, it was a nice nod. Or you could be I know, you know what? Fuck that. No, I'm gonna be fucking putting my fist in the air and going, you know what? Fuck you, because it's a disservice. Newt was cool, and this little bitch should have died.
Predpool, he says, what are you talking about? The Ross fucking Timu. She's more like Timu version of Ripley.
Yeah, that would be that's actually a great analogy.
What did you think? I was going to ask you, what did you think of the Pred Alien design, but you don't really get to see it that well. Like, could you determine that it had elements of the Predator, like the tusks and the dreadlocks and stuff, or was that lost on you?
No, I saw it. I noticed it. It was fine. It looked fine. It didn't look, what I could see of it looked fine. But again, and I'm sounding like a broken record. I just wish we could have seen it more. I don't think it was so much the design's problem. It was just we couldn't fucking see it. Marty, what is it about this movie? Because you have you stated many times today that this has you have a real soft spot for it. What is it? Because you've said that some people from the Predator people and Alien people have like, are you even a real fan of this franchise? So what is it about this movie that just charms you? Do you just like weird things like your girlfriend?
That's probably it. I think the Predator has great personality. No, Predpool, he wasn't. No one. How could he be reincarnated, King Willie? Jesus Christ. That thing that's killing your people and mine. No.
Are we ever going to do part 2, darling?
We'll do part 2, but we're not doing it as a trash fire because it's most certainly not a trash fire.
But don't some people in your neck of the woods beg to differ? I've heard some people tell me it's awful.
Those fucking people are wrong, okay?
I'm just asking. I didn't say it.
Here's a little rhyme here's a little saying I have, right, to acknowledge those people. Water is wet, the sky is blue, and anyone who says Predator 2 is shit is just a cunt. Okay. There we go. See, there you go. Larry knows what I'm talking about.
Okay, cool.
And so does Predpool.
No, very cool. I'm just asking, guys. Again, Marty knows this better than anyone. I'm not like, he gets me on here if he needs to talk about incest, necrophilia, that kind of thing. I'm not as well versed as in the Predator or Alien verse.
Going back, this guy is the main reason I love this. He's just so much personality. It's a second long, but he goes into the ship. But before he does his investigation, and it's one quick scene, he puts his hand on his fallen comrade's helmet and just takes a moment, and you're like, fuck, it just shows, hey, look, these are my people that were killed. I'm going to avenge them. It's not just, he's there to clean up, but he's like, I'm going to fucking kill this fucking thing for doing this. He could be the same clan, or it could be just kinship with the species itself. It's just a great moment, and his kind of rootlessness. He's not there to make friends. He uses Dallas as bait. He doesn't kill him. He strings him upside down to lure the xenomorphs. 2 fucking stoners come at him with guns, and he just fucking blows the tops of their heads off. Some other poor bastard has been mauled by... Actually, no, he wasn't a poor bastard. He was one of those dipshit Dawson's Creek fucking bully kids who he basically gets his face melted. I just love this guy. He's a badass. He's there to do a job, and woe betide you if you're in his way. That's what I like about him. Yeah. He's cool. He's cool.
It really reminds me of Reanimator. It does. I just want to do my experiments. He just wants to do his job.
The other thing I like is so the name is based on Harvey Keitel. The name is based on Winston Wolfe from Pulp Fiction. The design, his face is scarred on one side. They got the idea. Well, what if he's like Tom Berenger in Platoon? What if he has the personality and the facial scar of Tom Berenger in Platoon? So the Strauss brothers
That's kinda cool.
scarred up this side of his face to show that he's like his mandibles is melted and his face is scarred. So at this side it's grand, but in this side he's all kind of.
No, I couldn't see that in the movie. I could not really see that.
Hang on a minute. I just show folks again. I love the design. This is an early NECA figure, so that's why the lady is a tramp. See there, just you can see.
Excuse me?
Everyone knows you're a tramp. Don't worry about. I'm joking. I know you're not. But yeah, essentially, it's also to show that this guy has had a number of encounters with xenomorphs. As you said, the acid. He's burnt half his face, so he's able to fight these things one-on-one up close. Hey, John Steele.
He says you broke the matrix with the figure prediction programming.
Wait, which one? The missing mandible gave him a grip. Yeah, it did. It did, Larry. Again, I just like the fact that this guy is essentially the top tier of his race, and he's like, well, he was, but he was able to fight one-on-one with aliens up close, and he's got the scars to prove it. And yeah, it's just a great fucking figure. It's a great character. It's a great predator. NECA, please make an updated version. I mean, the fact is, I love this figure, but his head, there's a big fucking bevel at the top of his head. His face isn't realigned with the top part of his head, so there's this big kind of fucking seam going across it. Because the original.
You want to take me off for a minute and blow it up,
Yeah.
Marty? You can if you want.
I might do that. Sorry about this, babe.
Go ahead.
So,
no problem.
You can see. Originally, when these figures were released, they had the mask on. So, to save money, NECA would just take the face off and put the mask on. But when they added this face, they left a big ugly seam line, and it's not even lined up properly with the fucking head. So I would like NECA to redo these things. But again, the fact his face is scarred, and I know you can't see it right, but he's got the eye on the scarred side is actually milked over. You don't really see it that much in the movie, but you do with the figure. But it's just a fucking. He's one of my favorite designs. And I will exit out of solo mode now and let my gorgeous lady talk. Is there anything else that you enjoyed, or is this if someone was a fan of a particular movie, who would you show this to? If they were a fan of other slasher horror movies, what kind of movies would you kind of suggest this to on the back of?
I think people who enjoy, Saturday afternoon creature features. There was another thing that I actually did enjoy, or I really admired about this movie, is they did have the balls. I think I was talking about this when you were having your technical difficulties, is they did have the balls to show that the American government, can be evil. And I love the line, but the government wouldn't lie to us. And that was, because you've seen Michael Bay's a great example of some of their movies being very pro-military and very propagandish. I mean, just they're downright propaganda for the military. And this was made in a time when that was kind of a popular thing. Not to say it's never gone away completely, but that time period, it seems to have really produced some movies like that. And I like that this one, has the balls to go, don't trust the government completely, people. I like that. That was actually, for a silly little creature feature slasher trying to get dude bros into it, that was pretty good commentary. I'll give it that.
I suppose with everything going on in the States, the next movie could be Illegal Alien versus Predator. Just not to quote fucking Bill Paxton in Aliens, but forget Wayland Yutani. ICE is the one you gotta fucking watch out for at the moment.
I didn't hate it. Surprisingly, I did not hate this. This was not like the fucking autism saves the day Predator movie. That's the worst of the bunch that I've seen.
Again, that's another example of them trying to take the Predator from an anti-hero into a fucking heroic thing, with like even the emissary Predator that coming down to give humans a weapon to fight this bigger guy. Stop turning him into a hero. That it's
well, couldn't it just be noble qualities? I'm like, maybe not a hero, but just like they, because one thing you've told me about the Predators is they're very proud and they, take their shit very seriously, and it's a thing of honor. So like, if they see it's the right thing to do, it's not so much because they like us or they want to be buddy, but it's an honor thing. Maybe it's more like that, or what do I know?
No. You are right again, and this is why I think. This is why I think this one comic shouldn't be fucking removed from the archive. Disney are burying a great Predator comic called Demon's Gold, where the group of Nazis are in Argentina and they're looking for treasure, and they've kidnapped this young kind of Hispanic or what would be a term for a South American person? I was going to say Mesoamerican. Hispanic, yeah, they've kidnapped him and they're mistreating him and the villagers. And the Predator comes down and he's like, yeah, I'm going to fucking murder these dudes. Not because I'm,
pro-human.
I'm not Predraham Lincoln. I'm fucking here just to fucking... Okay, but that's where the Predator will be like, I could go after these weak humans or I could go after these Nazi pieces of shit. And it's usually the roll of the die.
It's like the evildoers taste better.
It is. Yeah, they can be honorable and they can work with you. I think it depends on the situation, Predpool. I think, like with Michiko Nagachi, like with Lex, if it's a matter of life and death, if their back is against the wall, they're like, okay, fuck it. I better team up with the soft, squishy thing. But I just don't want them to be turned into... Again, I'm going to draw parallels to fucking other stuff. and these movies worked. Like turning John Kramer and the Blind Man into an anti-hero when their original movies they were rapists and killers and stuff. It's like, yeah, yeah, it did, but just about. As I said before, it's more their back has to be up against the wall, and I still think it's kind of diluted them. As every time you turn one of these guys into kind of a more heroic character, it dilutes what made them basically this intimidating force, this intimidating alien. Yeah.
I get what you're saying. It's tricky, but it can be done, but you got to do it just so. You really got to walk a tightrope with it.
And just go. Now, I'm hoping the new movie. Predpool, I'm not going to disparage anyone, or I'm not going to give anyone any ire or issues for being excited or looking forward to, or even when it comes out, if people enjoy it and I don't, I'm not gonna. That's the one thing. Myself and yourself always discuss this, right? Even if we think the movie's shit, or even if we have an issue with the movie, I will never turn around and say, hey, you're a fucking idiot for liking this. That's not the right way to be. If someone loves a movie,
No. And it's all about subjectiveness, and and we're not in each other's shoes, and what can really be profound or just, have a moment for you in your life with a film might not speak to someone else, but don't shit on someone else's moment. That's my thing, Yeah. Unless they're liking something with Nazis, then you might want unless of course we're killing Nazis, that's okay. Or pedophiles, that's okay, but
going on to actually, Predpool, Larry, I will give you that. That is the cool thing about them. The honor code does kind of show that these aren't marauding monsters. These aren't xenomorphs. They're tribal hunters. They have a code of ethics, but just don't try, don't push the noble savage narrative too fucking hard, because you are going to kind of dilute what makes these guys
You're going to
fucking intimidating.
deconstruct what you've built. Basically, you're going
Yeah,
to
yeah,
deconstruct what you've built.
yeah. I love Predator 2. Predator 2 is fucking City Hunter's my favorite Predator. But yeah, going back to what I was saying, and I made a video about it, I think a year ago when the issue arose. Dark Horse, Dark Horse removed 2 stories from the fucking omnibuses that they were putting out. No, not Dark Horse. Disney and Marvel removed, because once Disney, who owned Marvel, got the rights to the Dark Horse comics and republished them under the Marvel imprint, Marvel are like, oh, we can't have like Nazis and Confederates in our comics, and it's like, but that's the best part. Like, yeah, sure, the Predator is like, the main antagonist, but watching him murder the shit out of Nazis and racist Confederates, that's brilliant. Oh no, it's wrong to depict now, but you're like, no, he's killing those guys. It's like,
and especially with this political climate that we're in, I know it was very with a newer movie that just came out. It just barely came out a couple of weeks ago. Sinners did the same thing at the end of there. It wasn't Nazis, it was Klansmen, but potato, same thing. And it was with the political climate the way it was. That was very cathartic to see our hero at the end kill some fucking Klansmen.
It's just some fucking fucking mush fucking redneck sack of shit going, it's wrong to kill KKK people have feelings too.
KKK lives matter. And I'm not saying that, people. I'm just saying some ignorant hillbilly would say that. I'm not saying that. Don't ask me what I would say.
Next, they'll tell us we can't fuck because we're cousins.
No, but that's important. And that's, again, where the film, like, sometimes this film can speak to you on a way that you can't learn it in a book. Not to say you can't learn things in a book, but sometimes film can speak to people in a different way, and the lessons you learned you can take from them. And when they're trying to take that stuff away, because those scenes can be very powerful and very cathartic, depending on where you grew up and what your circumstances are, or if you just have any humanity in you.
Yeah, like, again, with Killer's a Killer, with Killer of Killers, I am interested to see that they've kind of skirted around it. We are getting a World War II story, but it's going to be set in the Pacific theater of operations. So and it's not even going to be ground forces. It's essentially dogfighting. And the Predator's going after Allied soldiers, Allied planes. Now, whether he goes after Japanese Zeros as well, I'm not 100% sure. But it's like, Disney, you know what? People would cheer to see these fuckers murder Nazis, or these fuckers kill, pieces of racist shit. And why fucking do that? Why take? And there were 2 cool stories. Helcom Walken is cool because you find out the guy who actually stops the Predator is pre-Civil War Jesse James is the guy who takes out the Predator, and the other fucking story is just, a Nazi commandant who gets fucking ripped as shit by a Predator. It's like, it's feel good fucking story of the year, if you ask me,
Basically, yeah, I would totally agree with you. I think there was a couple people that cheered in our theater with Sinners. So, like, yeah, catharticism.
It is. Let's see. To really make the Predator an evil. Which story arc are you talking about, Predpool? Are you talking about Killer of Killers with the Red Baron Predator?
John asks, so does pre-Civil War connect it to Prey then?
No. This comic came out in the early 90s. This was before this was before Disney owned it, and this was before Marvel owned it. Yeah. That he looks like a prick. He looks like he's not even keeping the trophies. He harpoons one guy out of the plane, fucking pulls him back, and I was like, oh, is he going to pull him into the cockpit of his ship? No, he just fucks away the hook with the dude still tied to it. So I think it's just the idea of shooting down these planes is his idea of taking trophies. Yeah, he's a Red Baron, and I like the fact, because he's in the cockpit, he's cut off his dreadlocks and he's got the eye patch and stuff. Yeah, Bad Bloods. And I'm not talking about the Taylor Swift song. There is a group of predators that predators even think, wow, you guys are pieces of shit. And we see that. We've seen that in 2010's Predators. The big dopey fucker in Predator versus Neurodivergence is
that's a good title, actually. That's a damn good title.
Yeah. It's like a fucking Predator teams up with fucking RFK to fucking I'm
Bite
joking.
your tongue, Marty.
It's just scanning him and it sees a worm. What the fuck is into this? Is there some kind of extraterrestrial parasite in him?
Hey, creepy.
Hey, creepy. Look, this is a fun movie.
It is.
It's not a perfect movie.
No.
It's one that could do with. It's the one that could do with two fucking dozen light bulbs, if you ask me. But there's fun to be had.
Some guys with lamps, like not the lampshades, just lamps, and illumination. But again, I think you might be surprised. I didn't hate this. It wasn't a miserable experience. My eyes are a little pissed at you because they are a little strained. But aside from that, it's not a bad film. It wouldn't be an all-time favorite of mine. I won't lie to you on that. But it wasn't a miserable experience. Now, if you had fucking showed me fucking the one movie, and I hadn't seen it before, I would be cussing you right now, Marty. I'd be fucking cussing you out.
It's interesting because that one actually beat this in the poll to which was the better movie.
Well, I mean, and again, I'm not as well versed as you guys, so I'm not. But for me personally, I hated that movie. I so hated that movie.
We don't talk about Covenant, Larry. We don't talk about Covenant.
Why don't we talk about Covenant, darling?
Because the line, you do the fingering and I blow. That sounds
like something you and me would say. Or maybe just me.
Yes, but you wouldn't expect Robot Michael Fassbender to say it to Robot Michael Fassbender.
I mean, it could be hot. It's kind of a twinsy incestual thing if you're into that.
Jeez, it always fucking comes back to that. It always comes back to that.
Look, you asked me on here, Marty. You asked me on here. You go find some puritanical bitch that you can talk and see how much fun you have.
That is point. I wouldn't have near enough fun if I didn't have someone who's this fucking mad.
John Still, hot take. Have or can either of you Marty, I can't read.
Okay, have either of you reviewed The Hills of Eyes 2 OG? Is that the one that has the flashback?
Yes, that is the one that has the flashbacks. No, I've reviewed the first Hills Have Eyes, the original Hills Have Eyes, because I fucking love that movie. Yeah, even the goddamn dog has a fucking. I'm surprised there's a parakeet in that movie, and I'm surprised that didn't get a fucking flashback. It didn't, but I was surprised the first time I saw it. That would be an obvious trash fire. That would be. Yeah, the dog. This movie has a reputation. Even Larry's going dog flashbacks.
Actually, while I have Larry and Deadpool,
yeah, You have my kitty too if you want it. Meow.
Don't make me bring out the spray bottle again. Two things actually. First off, at some stage, I do want to do a live stream discussing Predator Badlands. So, Predpool Larry, at some stage, if you guys want to powwow and maybe get Eric on board as well. Also, Jesus Christ. Also, at some stage, John Steele, if I'm hosting another stream where we're discussing action figures, do you want to be a guest? Because I try and do it at least once or twice a month, where myself, Larry, Predpool, LJ, and Christ. Oh, Christ. I've Alzheimer's. Joey. Yeah, Joey meet up. I'm having fucking brain fog. I'm forgetting fucking people's names, and I don't want.
It's because there's too much semen in your clogged thing. You need to empty it out to an American woman. I keep telling you this. You need to release the semen.
But you told me the last jar I sent over smelled awful when it arrived.
But you need to do it on my breast and other unmentionable places that wouldn't make me seem like a lady if I said them out loud.
Fucking xenomorph attacks fucking Jen. It's alien versus sexual predator.
Ooh, Marty. Ooh, that one, yeah.
Predpool, you know what you came into. You knew what you were to expect when you came into this stream.
But, I think everyone does at this point. Although it would be funny if some newbie came in and thought it was just a nice noise.
Yeah, no, some dude comes in and goes, I want to talk about Alien versus Predator. Wait, what are they talking about? I thought you'd be discussing the Yautja language. Tough luck, bud, because no, not with her. Maybe in another stream, but no. The only language being discussed here is the language of sordid love.
It's oral.
Oh, Jesus.
It's oral language. Works because, talkie oral, but, the other kind of oral where you use your tongue. But doesn't necessarily mean you need to use your voice. Although I guess the vibrations, huh?
Get to the chopper. Get to the chopper. Actually, Jen, say right, okay? Say right. There's a couple having sex, okay?
Is it us?
Okay, say. For fuck's sake. Say you put on a bad fucking Arnie did. I'm coming in with my Predator helmet. You're just there and you're like, do it! Do me now! Come on, Nebia! Come on! Do it!
Creepy says those damn kids need to get to bed earlier. Don't they know mom and dad need time to watch Trashfires?
Jesus Christ. Anywho, yeah, no, this was fun. It was a fun movie to watch, and I'm pleasantly surprised because I was adamant you were going to be like, you motherfucker, I'll fucking kill you.
No, you know me, Marty. You know my taste pretty well, and I did. You were right. You called it. It does have the slashery element, and I like them spook pictures. I don't know if anyone knows it on here, but I'm kind of fond of them spook pictures, particularly if they have the necrophilia or incestual spook pictures. Them are the best spook pictures.
That's going to be your book. It's going to be Jen's book. I like them. They're spook pictures by Jen Mitchell.
What about the necrophilia and incestual spook pictures?
That's the blurb on the back. That's the blurb on the back.
The title. Like that's, you got to hook people.
That'll be your next one. Depends on that book. Jen, what is next for the channel? What is next for Jen's Reviews from the Grave?
Well, there's a few things. A video is being edited. I just filmed it, not last night, but the night before. Yesterday, we had kind of an interesting, little bit of a thing around here. But the night before, unfortunately, we got the news that a final girl. The horror community lost another wonderful final girl, and Friday the 13th Part 7 is my favorite of all the Friday films. You can argue if it's the best one in the franchise, but it's always been my personal favorite. And our lead final girl from that, Laura Park Lincoln, passed away at only 63 years old. And so I sat there when I heard the news the other night. I watched the movie. I couldn't sleep, so I turned on my camera and I just rambled in it for 2 hours. Sparky's like editing it now, and I just talk about celebrating her life, and then I also talk about why I fucking love Part 7, and the reason why. When I heard the news, I just thought to myself, the reason why this movie works so well is because I identify so much with this final girl character. She brings such a sympathy and such humanity to this character. And I'll tell you something that's in my video. I'll give you guys a little preview. People always make fun and go, "Oh, this is such a stupid idea," the Carrie versus Jason. And yeah, it's a little bit over the top, but she was so committed to the role. She actually worked with real psychics so she could get the most authentic when she was having those visions in the film. And I was like, people make fun, but she took her role that seriously. And as an actress, my hat's off to her, because I thought that was a pretty cool thing.
Yeah, no, it again, from what you tell me as well, that like at conventions she was an absolute sweetheart.
Yes, and not only to fans, but to actresses, ones that wanted to get into the business. She actually wrote a book to help women get into business, get booked, not scammed, and it was in stuff. And she mentored a lot of people.
Kara says 6 is my favorite, but I do love Part 7 a lot.
Yeah, and it was strange. I just watched a few days before. Yeah, I know. I watched it, and I also what I did. It was interesting because when I heard the news she passed, it was almost like 8-year-old Jen, because in my head she's eternally always going to be. She was in her 20s. She wasn't a teenager, but when I saw this movie, I believed she was a teenager. So in my head, she was never aged. She's always been a teenager, and I thought to myself, she can't be gone. She's only a few years older than me. She's almost like kind of a big sister kind of thing, and you're like, no. And then yeah, but it sucked. It just sucked. Fucking breast cancer. Fucking motherfucking breast cancer.
It's shitty as well in this day and age that something like that can't be fucking. It probably can. It's just fucking shitty circumstances. Also the fact she did the unofficial Jason 7 sequel. She was good in it. I've never seen that. What is that?
She was in the 13th Fanboy, which I did see, and then there's another one, I think it's called Blood Rose, and I didn't know about it till I was researching it, but everyone who's seen it says it's really good, and I'm gonna definitely gonna want to go back. The director wanted to do another one with them and the plot of the movie to do like a sequel to Part 7 with the same characters was have her in a mental asylum from all of her trauma from Part 7, and they never got to make it, unfortunately, but it was a cool idea. The director of this movie is a special effects guy, and he did like Halloween 4. He did one of the Indiana Jones movies. He did a lot of stuff. He very cool dude. And he was the one why he gave Kane Hodder over Graham was for the role of Jason is because of maggots. Kane Hodder was doing a movie called Prisoner, and he wasn't a director on that, but he was a special effects guy, and they were doing a scene where he was basically being resurrected and he'd been dead, and Kane Hodder was like, well, if this guy's dead, let's really get the point of decomposition. He's like, he'd have maggots in his mouth, and the guy always remembered that, and he's like, okay, you'd make a cool Jason.
Let's see, coolest looking Jason in that one, all the ribs showing. Yeah,
I love that too.
Creepy. And the spine sticking out as well. See, they even have a younger version of Duke in it. Oh shit, I gotta check that out, Larry.
Yeah.
That's no, again, that sucks. And it would have been cool if they had done a thing where all the survivors, the final girls from the movies, joined forces to take on Jason. Did they do that?
13 fanboy kind of did that. Yeah, 13. But I loved it. But you had to be a really big fan because but it was a very small budget. And one of the final girls was actually one who directed it. And it wasn't bad, but it did have a few problems. And I haven't seen Blood Rose. But she was in that one too. When I was doing research, but I haven't seen that one. But 13 fanboy kind of did do that. And Kane Hodder also makes an appearance in it.
Okay. And again, keep your eyes peeled. I know you are, Larry. Anyone else, if you are a fan of Friday the 13th, make sure you fucking check out this lady's fucking video that's coming out.
What about you, darling?
Me, I put up a video today of essentially reviewing some vinyl figures that I had for ages. Anthony, a good friend of mine, got them for me. And I said, fuck it, I might as well use the day to showcase them. And yeah, anything else bar that? I done a video on my thoughts. And again, as I said, I'm not excited. I'm intrigued for Predator Badlands. And hopefully be a good. Again, I don't want to be the asshole who's raining on people's parade. I know Predpool is excited for it. I know other people are excited for it. Just the face. It's not just the softness. It's obviously computer generated, and the eyes particularly. There's no way to get around that uncanny valley, and it makes me sad that we're slowly, like I said with the premise of the movie, like I said with the kind of tonal shift of the movie, we're also stepping away from the art of guys like Stan Winston and Rick Baker. And yeah, Larry's right to roar. Again, I'm wondering, is it because apparently he's a runt? He's the runt of the fucking litter, and that's why he's been fucking chucked on this planet. But I digress. Why? Is it a cost-cutting measure? Is it a time? Is it a time kind of conservative measure that making a mask with that many kind of electronical parts or servos that small takes time? Regardless, maybe it's just me. I'm old man shouting at a cloud. That I kind of like, oh, I want my practical effects. I'm going full neckbeard. I do understand if it was a case that you did a combination like with Prey, if you had a practical mask but you needed to use CG on the eyes and stuff, that it's really, Predpool says, for me, I prefer this over Prey.
Ooh.
Jesus.
I'm slowly backing away from this one.
No. I'm not gonna. No. Look, again, that's Predpool's.
No, I'm not on either one. I'm just
no. The face, the Farrell's face took a while to get used to. But the fact is, dude, they took the time and the effort to make a practical mask that worked. They did touch it up with CG, but it was a melding. This seems to be a total CG created face. Everything on that head, in that roar scene, is obviously, Jen, you watched the trailer. You could tell that was computer generated, that it wasn't a practical mask.
Yeah, I could kind of, but don't drag me into this, Marty. I'm like the dinosaur in what you do. I'm not supposed to be here. Look.
I don't want to see the legacy of Stan Winston and Rick Baker just being, hey, it's been brushed aside. Get rid of the old shit. We're going to do everything with computers. It's the same approach and ideals my friend John Cullen has. John is a fantastic comic book artist, but AI is now replacing fucking artists. Yeah. And again, the human brain can tell when something isn't fucking right, and you can tell that. Again, the design I'm not a fan of, but maybe I would actually be a lot more forgiving if it was a practical effect. Like, it's just, I don't know. But the thing is, Predpool, with that, right? Yautja Prime, if it's a celestial body that's bigger than Earth, how many continents might it have? Okay, how many hemispheres? As it says, he's from a different hemisphere. How many continents might it have? On Earth, we have how many races of people? We don't all look the same. We don't. People like Irish people probably look very different. Caucasian Irish people, some look very different to Caucasian Americans. And then you're going into other races. So it stands to reason.
Irish people have the best penises, I can tell you that.
There goes my legitimate explanation to trying. Thanks. Thank you. Thank you.
I had to say it.
I know you did. That's why I'm not mad. You can't talk about, but you get the point I'm saying. I want to. I genuinely want to. But I did Predpool. I do with basic Brett. I'm not going to totally fucking disregard it. I'm not going to. No. I know. I'm not going to totally disregard it. I like the new design for the dreads, and I like the explanation that he's a runt. That might explain it. But the face, the softening of the features, I have an issue with. On top of the fact it's a digitally rendered face. It's not, even if they did, even as I said before, even if they don't like Prey, if they digitally enhanced the eyes or some of the features in the brows but kept a practical mask, I would be okay with that. But they have totally done away with the design. It's just,
I'm kind of with Larry. I think that it might be a predator human thing. I kind of get that vibe. I'm totally could be wrong, but or was that bad?
No, I don't want that because we've already kind of got that in Neurodivergent versus Predator, with the Predator that had
but
human
they didn't
DNA.
do it very well, Marty. Maybe this time they can do it well.
Yeah. I would like it if they use both makeup effects and CG, whatever, so long as the story is good. Yeah, no, if the story is good, I'll give it leeway. But I'm still, my eye is still going to be drawn to that face.
I hope that's not the only thing your eyes are going to be drawn to.
Okay, question for you, Jen. Right? Okay, the next Halloween movie, right? They want to have a super kind of expressive Michael Myers mask. They want to have the coolest looking Michael Myers mask. So the actor, fucking Dick Warlock or whatever, right? Maybe he's too old to put a mask on. So they put green dots on his face and they digitally render the mask on.
Well, now this is about this. Now this is a different, because this is something that I'm into, so that's totally different. Now we're talking about them spook pictures, Marty. That's all. We're not playing with y'all's little, predator people. This is serious shit.
Yeah, no. Look, apparently he is a purebred. He's essentially what I've gathered. Dick Warlock also means penis wizard. You're not helping the situation, Eric.
Ooh, so to make it work, instead of doing it like this, you gotta go like this. Or like this. If you can't use your hands.
Okay,
or
Jen.
You could use your legs.
Jen.
Yeah.
there was an elderly couple inside a retirement home, right? And every once in a while, they'd get frisky and they'd go into the back room while everyone's playing fucking billiards and stuff. And the old dude, he'd take out his penis, and the elderly woman, he'd hold it, and they had a great old time. It was great. And then the next day, right, the elderly woman went back to the billiards room, right, to meet her partner, to meet her sexual kind of partner. And when she came in, there was another woman there. There was another older woman there holding his penis. And she was pure disgusted. She was like, Harry, what does she have that I don't? And Harry looks up and goes, Parkinson's.
You're going to hell for that. I mean, you're probably going to hell for being with me, but this clenched it if you had any hope, and that's just bye-bye.
I was trying to see shit. Yeah, no, I'm excited to see Will and Yutani. I'm excited to see Will and Yutani in it as well. Look, again, we'll see what the movie holds. The face, the CG rendering of the face and the softening of the features is just as me taken aback. In fairness, lads, I've been a lot more charitable than some of the fuckers out there. You gotta give me that.
I've seen some of your comments. Yeah, I've seen some of the comments on the one video. Yeah, some of those guys are wow. They're hardcore.
But yeah, guys, as I said before, right, if you're a fan of Friday the 13th, check out my gorgeous lady's new video when it comes out.
Thank you.
And Eric, maybe Eli Fanning's character is a descendant of Broom Lady.
See, when my mind went to the one-armed man from The Fugitive. I'm like, a predator fugitive?
I'm wondering if he gets his arm cut off at the start, if he's been dumped on this planet and he tries to fight back, gets his arm cut off, and maybe Eli Fanning's Tia reattaches it, because through the trailer, later on in the trailer, before he faces off across that against that big kind of creature, his arm is bandaged up. So I'm wondering, did she fucking sew it back on? Like, maybe their biology, it's a lot easier to kind of reattach an amputated wound or reattach an amputated limb. Don't say a fucking word, Mitchell. I know what you're thinking.
I was thinking about God, Marty. I was thinking about
Sure. The thing I hated most about Alien vs. Predator film was they took place. Yes, thank you, Cara. Thank you. Did he? That's what gives me hope with this movie, this new Predator movie, set in the future, Will and Yutani and an alien planet. And that stuff does tilt the scale for me. I don't want it to become Star Wars, and I don't want it to be a total CG fest.
John is asking for if we can do Gang Wars from 19. And I actually like the idea of doing Hills Have Eyes too. Actually, I actually really like that idea.
Okay. It better not be fucking Tanya's Island, John Steele. For fuck's sake. Right.
But we actually, I know what our next Trashfire is going to be.
Go on, let the folks know what it is.
Oh, I'm gonna make them, sit there with anticipation. But I will say spring is in the air, and certain feelings and biological things are coursing through my veins. So, I picked one. It has a pink orangutan. That's all I'm going to say, guys, is it has a gay pink orangutan in this movie. It's high art. It's time we get back to high art on this channel. Marty, you're going to love it.
I fucking most definitely love you, considering I'm fucking doing it, in fairness.
I mean, could it be any worse than Let My Puppets Come? I mean, really, could it be
nothing good. Come here. I'm going to rope it off here, but before I do...
I wish you'd rope me off.
I'd fucking tie you to a telephone pole and leave you. That's what I'd fucking do. Right. I just want to say a big thank you to Creepy McGee, Cara, the Master of Fear, John Steele, re-sleeved, the always awesome and legendary Predpool. If you haven't checked out their channel and are a fan of figures, he collects mythic legions as well as Marvel Legends and NECA Predators. And there is the always kick-ass figure collector as well, Larry, aka the Horror Cat Dad. Trenchy was in the chat. Eric from Hey Internet, Eric here, another fantastic channel, well worth checking out. Mr. Dan, Mr. Bones, Mr. Magoo. No, Mr. Magoo wasn't in the chat, unfortunately. But we had a couple of misters, and I think that's it. And Trenchy as well. Make sure you check out Trenchy. And just in general,
and to the guy that's in the trench coat that's watching us naked, except for the trench coat. Can't forget him. No, Creepy, it's not Batman. It's not Batman. It's a little more avant-garde than Batman.
Creepy. I'm thinking, oh yeah, Batman and Robin. Yeah.
Marty wishes. Marty wishes.
I actually wish it was. At least I get to do fucking my bad Arnie fucking Mr. Freeze puns. What killed the dinosaurs?
You get to do me, darling. You get to do me, so there's that.
I don't know. Is it as fun as, Mr. Freeze ice puns?
Fuck you.
I love you.
I love you too, darling. Predpool asks what? I think they're curious as to what movie we're gonna does. You'll see why that's funny when we do our next Trashfire. Does. This movie sure does.
I'll do myself with a fucking shotgun if this fucking Christ. Right.
How much do y'all like lesbians? That's my final clue. How much do y'all like lesbians?
If any other dude, it's like, wait, my girlfriend's letting me watch a movie with lesbians? But no, the level of disconcertion that has been reached in my soul makes that totally unappetizing and unappealing. Like, if I had bro friends, I was like, my fucking girlfriend wants to watch a movie with me about lesbians, to be like, oh, cool. I'm like, you don't understand. You don't understand the struggle.
Yeah. Pink orangutans and lesbians and does. You'll find these questions and many more will be answered on the next Trashfire Cinema.
And with that, we shall end it here. But again, big thanks to everyone who stopped in. That's
true, Creepy. Even homophobes love lesbians. That should be on a shirt.
Jesus Christ.
It's true. The most profound statements are always the ones that are truth, that speak to your heart and loins. I used loins the other night in a review that I did the other night. I used the word loins, and I'm like, I need to pepper that more into my indoctrinated into my mouth hole.
Do you remember when I was saying sometimes doing live streams with you is like taking a toddler to the park after they've eaten a bag of sugar?
Yeah. What about it?
Nothing. With that, we're going to end it here. But thanks a million for everyone who stopped by. And
alien penises. Alien penises. And some people say there should be 3 of them. They should have 3 alien, pulsing hard alien penises. Predator alien penis. I don't fucking know. Penis! Happy alien penis day!
This is Martin Green, last survivor of the Trash Picture Show, signing the fuck off.
We